Hey everybody, what's up? It's Steven here. We're at Asheville Comic-Con, looking around. We're going to record this video and we're going to post it later today on our YouTube, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just getting a little video. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Between the Pot and the Hard Place. I'm Stephen Colton, flying solo here tonight, and today I went to a local Comic-Con here in Asheville, North Carolina, the WNC Western North Carolina Comic-Con, today, May 21st, 2022, and I got a few things at the con today. And the clips you saw there in the beginning of the show were just a little bit of snippets that I recorded. I was going to do a live broadcast from the con today, but it was like at 10 a.m., and I didn't. The phone signal there was kind of weak, so I couldn't hold up a live stream. So I took some clips, figured, okay, I'll show them tonight. And we've got some pictures too. I didn't take a lot. I mean, it's a small con. It wasn't a massive thing. We were there at the early parts. So later on in the afternoon, they had costume contests, things like that, and all that fun stuff. Oh no, Corey, internet is glitchy. Now, normally mine is, so I don't know. Hey, how's it going, Jeremy? Now, today you noticed that Chris is not here. Chris could not be here tonight, but that was okay because I knew I wanted to do something. We were supposed to go live last night with Dan from Dan's Toy Box, and unfortunately there was some family emergency and he could not make the show, which is totally fine. Taking care of family is much more important than doing this show. So, hello. Where's my money? That's a little inside joke that most people probably wouldn't get. But yeah, that was some fun times I had today. Let's look at a few pictures here. We'll talk about the con and everything and what we saw and all that fun stuff. There's a lot. I didn't have really a costume, so I just went as a generic like wrestling thing. I had a championship belt there with me, and the shirt I'm wearing right now. Had to have a backwards hat to look cool. You know, and there's a ton of collectibles, a ton of figures, comics, all sorts of things. And you saw in the beginning of the video or the episode here tonight that there were a ton of tables lined up with figures and things like that. We'll take a look more at some of those in photos here. We have some wrestling figures that, funny enough, I think I have every figure that was on this table, except for the little wrestling buddy Sting in the corner. You see the little stuffed guy? I don't have that, but I believe I have all these other ones. So that's pretty cool. Looking on to a little bit more, there's some Marvel stuff, some Star Wars. I almost got that thing. And then Beast over here. That's a really cool figure. I think that was like $15. The thing, I don't remember how much he was, but it was pretty awesome. There's a lot more in this little picture here. Some that I don't notice. Definitely some Star Wars, California Raisin there. Just a bunch of different things that we see. Another picture here we have with some Marvel Legends figures. Some of these I have, some of them I do not have, and we have some old Star Wars figures here. You have Episode 1, and you have some older figures, some newer figures. We have Samuel L. Jackson there as Mace Windu from Star Wars Episode 1. That's some cool figures. I don't really collect Star Wars all that much. I have a Darth Vader figure and maybe a couple more. I collect like turtles and wrestling mostly. And just a quick little peek that Dan sent me. We did a trade, and I'm going to break them. We did a trade where he traded me some turtle figures, the two that I could not find, and I traded him something he could not find, so it worked out great. We'll show them real quick. Here's Leonardo and Donatello. Finally have the complete set of all 4 turtles, so that's pretty cool. Been trying to get all 4 of these guys for a while now, so we're going to put Leonardo and Donatello back over here. Michelangelo, of course, we show him. It's my favorite turtle since growing up. I've always loved Michelangelo. And we also have Casey Jones, Raphael. I've showed them on here before. We'll go in the future very soon. We're going to go more in depth with these and do a full review of all of that coming up when Dan's able to make the show. Let's look at some more figures here. Some of these were pretty cool. This is kind of a blurry picture, but the one I was trying to focus on, if you see up here, is the Futurama figure of Bender. This is a very rare figure, and I almost wanted to get it, but it had a $100 price tag, and as much as I want that, I am not that into it to where I'm going to pay $100. That's an old picture. Let's see. So Corey's saying, I was interested in those Princess Bride figures, but you got to have all 4 brothers and turtles. I'm interested in the Princess Bride figures. But when you go to a store like Target, for instance, the only ones I ever see are like the princess herself, and then there's a couple. I'm not collecting all of them, but I've really been after the Andre the Giant from Princess Bride. I really want that. That's like the holy grail because I've never seen it in a store. That's kind of how that Bender from Futurama is. It's just like hard to find. I've loved Ninja Turtles since the violent black and white comics. See, that's the thing too. I've liked them, and they had some figures of them that are there today, and I didn't get a chance to. Well, I had a chance to take pictures, but I just didn't for some reason. So yeah. But yeah, the turtles. I love turtles. I've always loved turtles. I literally grew up on turtles. Let's see, where were we? We're gonna show that Bender figure again, and in that same picture, we see some Power Ranger stuff below. G.I. Joe up there. That's some pretty cool stuff. Going down here, we have a little battle droid from Star Wars. I got his head cut off a little bit, but I thought that was pretty cool. Here's a neat little picture. I was sitting next to Yoda. He was there. Talk to me, he did. Ask me any question, I did. But yeah, I'm sitting here trying to talk to Yoda, and he just like turns away from me like, talk to you I want not to do. Bother me you are. So I just kind of left him alone, I got pretty angry. We had a little exchange of words, but he used the force on me and made me shut up. So when I was walking around, I saw a couple stormtroopers. Here's one now. It's a little blurry. He was moving, and I was standing there, and he was getting down to his evil empire business, and I didn't want to interrupt. That is an awesome Yoda, and that's actually, it wasn't a costume, really. It was just like a statue kind of thing, and it was either a sculpt or like maybe a mask. It wasn't a person. It was just there. And on the other side of that, you had Baby Groot, which I didn't take a picture with for some reason. There were a bunch of people, families with their kids and stuff, trying to take pictures with Yoda and Groot. And I was like, okay, let me get a quick picture. So I just got down there and did a weird little selfie. And that was it. We have we already saw that Stormtrooper. Here we have Boba Fett. I was going to go up to him and take a picture, but it looked like there might have been a bounty on me for taking too many pictures or something. I don't know. So Boba Fett was eyeballing me pretty hard. So I just kind of kept my distance there and let him be. He was looking for some other bounties, and I just didn't want to interrupt him, So I kind of left him alone. Then we had this little droid running around. And you saw a video of him earlier in the show here. We'll go back to that real quick for those of you who maybe missed it. Let's see. Find it here. I kind of got a sneak peek at him running around on our way in through. So yeah, you see him running around there. He was fully operational, well, not fully. He wasn't like real, but it was really cool. He was remote controlled, so you had a guy nearby walking around with it, and he made his head turn. He made he made all the sounds. It was really cool. So I wanted to get a couple of pictures of that. With this, we had this stand that had a lot of cool like armor and prop weapons and helmets, and this really cool Batman set here was awesome. I didn't want to ask how much this stuff was because I knew I could not buy it. Maybe someday soon I could, but yeah, this Batman was just, both of these actually were from Batman and some Star Wars helmets. These were really cool. So I wanted to get a couple of pictures of some things. And we had, there were a couple of Moon Knight people. Here we see Mr. Knight, I guess is what they called him. He's in the suit and the mask. And there was another version of this guy running around somewhere else today. So that was pretty cool to see that. And then there was this really cool van that was like Punisher's van. Got a picture of that. Little side view of it. You can see there. The Punisher on the back of it. And then the Punisher symbol on the hood. So I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't get a ton of pictures. Just what you see here. That's pretty much all I got. And the video clips I took. I was really just so kind of sucked into looking at everything. I was going to interview Boba Fett, but he was really busy taking pictures with everybody and talking to people. So many stormtroopers, clone troopers, tons of Star Wars characters running around. There were a few Captain Americas running around, a couple of Ghostbusters. I really wish I'd have got more footage and more pictures and stuff like that, but I didn't. But that was okay. I mean, I saw a bunch of it, and it was really cool. So I'm happy about that. So moving on, we have a few things that I got today. This is probably going to be a shorter episode than most of you are used to. This is our 99th episode, and tomorrow night, live at, I want to say it's 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 if you're on the West Coast. We are doing the 100th episode of Between a Pot and a Hard Place. And some of you going through the YouTube are like, wait a minute, it only starts at like episode 30. Where's the first 20-something episodes? Well, they exist, but not in video format. So basically, when I started the show, it was just kind of more of like a therapy thing for me where I could talk about a few things and kind of get it out. And that helped me out a lot. And it was losing my dad that kind of pushed me into doing that. And I thought the podcast would last a few weeks and I would be done. It wasn't meant to be what it is, but it grew into that. Because the way I've always looked at this show is when I started it, it was a way to kind of cope and kind of help get things out and think and put things into perspective. And once I kind of worked through all that stuff, I got to a place where I was just happy to talk about things I loved. So it wasn't so much letting those things I like action figures, TV shows, movies, all this stuff. Those things weren't replacing and just being put, and they weren't pushing down the bad feelings. It was just the positive side coming back out after dealing with everything else. And so we've grown into what we are today. And this is the 99th episode, and the 99th official episode. We've had specials here and there, not clip shows. Like, remember when we did this? But, little shows here and there. But as far as regular normal shows we've had, this is 99. It's been going on for over 2 years, and tomorrow night will be the 100th episode of this show. 100. That's crazy. And it also happens to be what would have been my dad's 60th birthday tomorrow night, or tomorrow day, I guess, but we're doing the show tomorrow night. And for that, Chris and myself are going to be talking about one of my dad's favorite movies. We're going to be talking about Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. And there's probably going to be other stuff thrown in there, but overall, we're going to talk about Cheech and Chong, which is a little bit different from what we normally talk about as far as, TV shows and movies, but we normally kind of stay on the superhero type, topic, but we're going to start branching out to more things because episode 100 will be the official end of not the podcast itself, but the first official season, because I started this thing in January of 2020 on my own. And then Chris joined shortly after. and we've been doing it together since. And then we went to video, and so around episode 30 something, we went to video. And after 2 years and 100 episodes, it's like, did we have a season 2, or do we need to break it into seasons? But it's easier to kind of start breaking it up. Sorry about this dog barking next door. It's easier to break it up into smaller seasons. That way we can tell, oh, season 2 had this interview or this one, because we have a lot of cool things coming up. We're having Dan come on from Dan's Toy Box. He reviews action figures and things like that. So we're really excited to talk to him. We're also coming up on June 3rd, I want to say. Excuse me. I want to say June 3rd. We're coming up and we're talking with, finally, it's, there have been some delays, but finally we're going to talk to the showrunner of The Flash, the big hit series on the CW. We're going to talk to Eric Wallace, who is pretty much in charge of the show. He's the showrunner. He's the boss. So we're going to talk to him. And then at some point in the next few months, after Superman and Lois season 2 ends, we're going to have Jordan Elsas back on, who plays Jonathan Kent, one of Superman's sons in that show. We're going to have him back on to talk about season 2 and what he expects from the show moving forward. And we're going to, at some point, this is not scheduled yet, but he has agreed. We are going to have Walt Flanagan, who a lot of you may not know who Walter Flanagan is. He's on the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast, friends with Kevin Smith. He was on AMC's Comic Book Man and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm really excited to have him on because I listen to their stuff all the time, and I loved Comic Book Man. And if some of you have never seen Comic Book Man, it's sort of like that show Pawn Stars, but in a comic book store instead of a pawn shop. So it's pretty fun to watch. Stranger Things. Oh, yeah. Corey, good. Stranger Things is coming out on, we were going to talk about this last episode, but we didn't. Stranger Things season 4, every ending has a beginning. Season 4 is going to start on May 27th, and I'm really excited. I need to binge watch all of seasons 1, 2, and 3 in the next week, or less than a week, really 6 days, because I'm so excited for Stranger Things 4. Been waiting forever for that show. Have Walt bring Ming along. Of course, Corey is referring to Ming Chen, who was also in Comic Book Man. I don't know if Ming will be coming with Mike, or not Mike, but Walter. Sorry. I don't know if he would be available, but I do want to play a game with Walt. On the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast, they play different games, like word games, things like that. And I want to try to have him come on and play the game with me and Chris. There's one game called Dyslexia where Walt will come up with a few different not clues, but like 3 different things, like items, names, whatever. And you have to guess what they're supposed to be. So it's a weird game. You would have to really kind of hear it and see it to really understand what it is. Basically, you have to take those crazy words and figure out what the thing is that he's trying to say. So at the end of it, you're like, that makes no sense. Like you could say Pop-Tart and orange soda, and the answer could be the moon, but in some way the answer would relate to the clues, but in a weird backwards way, and that's why they call it dyslexia. So it's weird, but it's funny to listen to because it's so impossibly dumb, but it's so entertaining to hear other people play it. So hopefully we can play that when Walt comes on. But he's also, the main reason he's coming on is to promote his new comic, which is Knights of the Fifth Dimension. So if you want to, it's from Blue Juice Comics. So if you want to go on and look that up and check that out. But yeah, we've got a few things here. This is the Ecto 1 Ghostbusters car, but it's a Transformer. So like it does all the transforming. I'm trying to do it real quick. Let's see here. Oh, let's plug this out. Take all that off. And I know some of you had seen me do Transformers before, and they're this is easier. Did you hear about the Quantum Leap reboot that Ernie Hudson is in? I heard something about a Quantum Leap reboot, but I hadn't seen anything in depth. I haven't seen any detail about it. But it seems like it'd be cool. So here we go. I took the top off, and now we're going to transform this guy, if I can remember the steps. Oh, yeah. First, the doors come down. I say this one's easy, but watch me struggle with it. Okay, here we go. Now it's wanting to cooperate. So you slide the doors up. Then you take the front, pull these out, push them down to the side, rotate the arm. Push these little tabs down. So now he's got that. You just rotate the arms out, fold that out, and then these just swivel around. And then you take the legs apart. Then the back panels come, here they are. They come out to build the heels for the foot. Chest plate comes down. And you have the basic finished Transformer. And real quick, we're going to go and take the roof of the car. And this actually converts into a Proton Box. You know, it does kind of look like a Wheeljack. I have a Wheeljack over here somewhere, but it is very similar to Wheeljack. But design, it's almost like they took Wheeljack and changed it into the Ecto one. So we're taking this gun piece comes off, and then this is pretty easy to transform. You just take the bottom flap, rotate this thing down, boom. Gonna connect this little hose to the inside here. Close that down. Boom. Let's see. And there we go. Also got a couple of wrestling figures here. This is old King of the Ring WWF draws. It says 20. I got it for 10. And over here, WrestleMania fully loaded. Al Snow with head. $10. Now, some of the collector people are like, no, don't open that. Watch. Head. A stool. Al Snow. Oh, that leg is really loose. Oh, that's disappointing. We'll just put him back in the box. Just wanted to show that off. I really like the head, though. Makes me wonder where they took this from. Like a Barbie or something. So we're going to put him back. almost like it never opened. Set him off to the side. And then one more, I got this today too, which is Draws. So we're going to open him up. His leg's not as bad, but it's still a little loose. These figures back in the day, that's what they look like. You know, just basic, like, here we go. And he came with a sink. That's back when these figures used to come out with, so you could, I guess, pretend. I don't know. I bet there are people who can open the packs and reseal them. I mean, possibly. If you're very careful. It's hard on some of these. But I like to open them. You know, if it's something super rare and expensive, valuable, I won't. But I made sure to look these up before I open them. Because, again, I paid $10 for each of the wrestlers here. And I looked them up, and they're not worth much more than 10, if that. So I'm not going to worry too much about opening those. But my favorite thing out of today is this. You know, this was $30, I will say. But they're like $50, $60 most other places. So and I'll just do a quick transformation back. Take that off. See how quick I can put it back. Probably not that quick, but this arm doesn't want to go. There we go. Boom. And then just transform this guy back real quick, which is not very hard. And this goes kind of to the side there. And this is tricky because you have to tuck the hose part down into the hole. Down in the hole. Little Alice in Chains joke there. And then put it on its spots. All right. Connect this little hose back in. Then the little blaster thingy goes on the side. This piece fell off, a little rubber fence piece. So we're just going to put that back on. Here we go. And there we are. Back to a car. It really looks like the Ecto 1. That's what I love about it. It doesn't look weird or too bulky. It looks just like it. And I really wanted that. They also, another vendor there at the con had the Back to the Future DeLorean Time Machine Transformer car. I really wanted to get that one, but I was trying to limit myself on how much I spent today, so I only spent like $50. So they have a Lego Optimus Prime that you can build. It also transforms. I have seen that. I don't know when it releases. It might be out now. I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm going to do a quick little Google search here real quick. We're going to go to the official Lego store website and see what the price, because if you look at eBay, there's going to be tons of these different prices for the same thing. So where's the Optimus Prime? Where's the search option? Here we go. Lego Optimus Prime. Here it is. Corey, what you're mentioning. Let's see. We're going to share the screen real quick. And we're going to do... Here it is. So you see, this is the Lego Optimus Prime that you're talking about. We can zoom in to this. It will, it'll show you kind of details of it. And it's fully transformable. There's the box. It looks pretty awesome, I gotta say. And it does transform after you build it. There's little accessories. The scale is 35 centimeters, which is 13 and a half inches tall and 7 inches wide. That's pretty awesome. He looks pretty cool. There's one of him transformed and one of him in truck mode. Really, really cool. So I definitely want to pick that up. At some point, it's $169. It does release in June 1st. This is the official, but $169, and that thing is pretty massive. So it looks awesome, I gotta say. Don't really have much else to say tonight unless anybody has some comments or questions or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of go through a quick cover of what I saw today, and I planned on at least 30 minutes, and we're at 32 minutes now, so it's not the normal full Chris and Steven show. Maybe we should change our name to that, the Chris and Steven show. Let's see. Oh, no. Yeah, me too. Like, I made a bunch of Lego Optimus Primes. You wouldn't believe the Lego stuff they have. Like, let's look real quick. I want to show everybody one more thing, which some of you may have already seen it. We're going to pull it up real quick just so you can see it again or see it for the first time if you have not. And it's pretty cool. It's sort of like what we're showing here, but it's a Nintendo system with a small TV, game cartridge controller. It's all Lego. $230. You've got the little TV. You've got this little Mario that moves. It's pretty cool. In the back of the TV, everything else, that thing is pretty awesome. So, yeah. Clemente, how are you, my friend? Yes, episode 99. If you're just joining, then you kind of missed. The earlier bits where I was talking about the con. So we can go through those pictures again real quick. We had Moon Knight there. There was some cool Batman armor and some prop weapons. We had some droids running around. We had Boba Fett hunting people, and I was on the run. Some stormtroopers looking for me. Yoda would not hide me. He refused. Then we had a battle droid, but he was broken. He didn't work. A lot of cool toys. We had a Bender figure up there that it was $100 because it's super rare. A lot of Star Wars figures here and some Marvel Legends and G.I. Joes. You have the Thing, another Stormtrooper, some other Star Wars characters, X-Men stuff. A lot of cool figures there today. Some wrestling figures. And I made a point to say that I have pretty much all of those, and I think I have a problem with collecting figures. And that was kind of my costume. I didn't really have a dress-up thing. I just kind of wore the belt and wore an NWO shirt. And if any of you are wrestling fans and know the NWO, they used to do the Too Sweet little hand sign. And we were in line going into the event, and this dude is also in a shirt, NWO, He walks up, says, "Too sweet, brother." And we don't know each other, never seen each other before in our lives. And it was just the coolest little moment. And that's the stuff, that's the kind of moments that I love about doing stuff like this, is that interaction, especially in person. Is, you know, it was too sweet, literally. So that was pretty cool. Dan's Toy Box had a Star Wars Rebel spaceship. That was pretty cool. He did. And he was going to come on, like, again, at the start of the show, I mentioned that he was going to come on and do a review of these turtles. And Clemente, if you didn't see earlier, I got finally the Leonardo and Donatello. And we're going to go and do a full review of all these turtle figures, because my collection is essentially complete. I don't have all of these specific figures, but I have all the ones that I originally wanted, which were just the 4 turtles. And I also have Casey Jones, 2 April O'Neils, a Splinter, Shredder, and Super Shredder. So we're going to go into full reviews on that stuff with Dan, because he actually sent me the Leonardo and Donatello, and I traded him for an extra Shredder that I had. So it was a really sweet deal for me. He was excited. So everybody won out, and it was great. We're going to have him on do some in-depth detail on that. I mean, the feeling, yeah, like seeing, like, this is the NWO. If those of you who don't know, it's a wrestling group. It was just a group of bad guys or heels in wrestling. And Hulk Hogan, was the biggest moment because he turned heel. He became a bad guy after saying his prayers and eating his vitamins. And what you gonna do, brother? Hulkamania, dude. Like, all that turned into NWO. And then, so that was 1996 when the NWO formed. And now we're in 2022. And you walk down a hallway, because we actually entered the building on the opposite end. The line was forming, like, going this direction. We came in this side of the building, so we had to walk down the hall, back outside, and get in line. I think I have a clip still here of us waiting in line. I didn't upload the clip from us waiting outside, but here's the line. So that line going all the way down that hall, and we were coming up as the other guy was walking down, and he looked over at me and walked immediately over. I walked towards him. It was almost like we were friends when we haven't seen each other in a few years. He's like, he throws it up and was like, "Come on, man." And boom. And we did it. It was, he's like, "Too sweet." And it was just cool. People were laughing. And some people didn't get it at all. And some people knew exactly what was going on. I had a championship belt on that you saw here a second ago, I believe. But yeah, it was really a cool moment. It truly, truly was. I really don't have much else to cover on here tonight. Just, again, wanted to go over the little events that we, had today, and all the stuff we saw. Show the things I got. I need to start thinning out more of my collection. I'm going to be moving sometime in October, and as you can see, all these boxes are figure boxes. Wrestling figure boxes, all these NECA boxes for the Turtles figures, these 2 wrestlers I got today, Turtles, wrestling figures on my TV stand, all these figures everywhere. Then we got the Ecto one over there. So we've got a lot of stuff. Oh, I say we, it's really me. But yeah, I'm going to start thinning out, maybe trading some of the things that I don't like as much, or not that I don't like, but that I could get rid of, keep my top favorites, and trade the other ones for more top favorites, which is what I did for the 2 Turtles. And the wrestling belt that you saw in the picture, I got those belts the same way. But yeah, I think it's going to be a short episode 99 tonight. Don't really have much else to say. I mean, we could look again one more time at the differences between wrestling figures of today and wrestling figures of over 20 years ago. say I'm not going to take them out of the packaging because it's too hard. But one more quick look. Rubber body, rubber arms, legs, not much motion, no elbow bends, no knee bends. That's pretty much all you had, right? And then a wrestling figure from today, we'll pull out. I'll pull out this one because it's my most recent one. This guy is an AEW. Oh man, I dropped his sunglasses. No. Sorry, folks. Oh, well, I'll find them later. He's got these really tiny rubber sunglasses that fell off his head. But this guy, you know, there's double jointed knees. There's feet that go down, you know. The heads that can be pulled off and clothing changed out. So many different detailed, you know, bits of articulation. It's really cool how far figures have come over the last 20, 30 years. I'm going to put his hand back in his pocket. I got to find those sunglasses. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight and tuning in for the last 2 years and different versions of the show. Originally, it was audio podcast only. Then we went to video. Then we went to video and audio. Then we kind of just trailed away into just video. Building the YouTube page, building the Facebook group. We're building on all areas. And I do want to get back to getting the audios updated and having those as well for some of you who would find it easier to listen and not watch. We haven't done it in a while because normally we have pictures, we have comments, we have all this stuff that it's alive and interactive. So it's harder to do an audio version of that, but I think we can make it work. But definitely tune in tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific as Chris and I talk about Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke and celebrate my dad, who would have turned 60 years old. You miss your parents every day if you lose one. It doesn't get easier. It doesn't get better. But you get used to it, right? And you start to remember the fun times. And those kind of replace the bad times. That's the way I look at it. That's what's getting me through. And this show, you know, I got to thank Chris because if he hadn't joined me almost 2 years ago, or a little, probably over 2 years at this point, then I don't know how long I would have done this show by myself. You know, because I could talk for 30, 40 minutes about whatever, but with someone to talk to, you know, face-to-face virtually, it makes it a lot easier. So I got to thank Chris for that. And thank you, each and every one of you, for sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing, posting in the group, joining the group. We have over 1,200 members in our group, which I wish more of you would watch the show, though. But it's okay. I get it. But yeah, thanks to everybody. This really makes my week to do these shows. I look forward to it. Usually, sometimes things come up, we have to reschedule, but that works. And it's kind of funny that tonight, that now that I'm by myself, the internet isn't getting all weird. Usually it freezes, and then you know, you can't see me, and then but no, it's been fun. So yeah, don't forget, tune in with us tomorrow night, right here on Facebook, right here on the Facebook group, and right here on YouTube. So you've seen throughout the whole show here tonight the little ticker thing at the bottom showing all the Twitter handles, and also follow Mark Guggenheim at M Guggenheim because he's one of my favorite people in the world. Clemente was saying that I was just at a local Southern California comic book store called The Mighty Luchador, a small shop inspired by pro wrestling and local artists. That sounds amazing. And if I get out there, because I've mentioned it on the show before. Thank you. Thank you so much, Clemente. That does mean a lot. But yeah, I'm planning a trip. I've been planning since probably like last October to come out to visit Chris. And there are a few things I want to do while I'm out there. We want to do a live podcast in or around Hollywood. And there are several people I would love to meet in person when I get out there. If I get to go out there this year, things might work out for the better. We'll see. I'm still optimistic, but I don't want to get too excited. So if that happens, I'm going to stay out there for a little while. I'll stay and visit for at least a week, maybe longer. If I don't want Chris to get sick of me, so if he has invited me to stay with him for a little bit, and then I might venture out and leave and do my own adventure. Who knows? We'll see what happens. It could happen. It'd be fun. Also plan to go to New Jersey, see the Quick Stop from Kevin Smith's Clerks. I'm not saying I'm planning. I'm not planning. These are just things I want to do. But in my mind, I say I'm planning them because it seems more real, like they might happen. But yeah. So if I get out there, Clemente, it'd be a pleasure to meet you in person if things work out. You're very, very kind. It would be, well, thank you. I would definitely want to meet you as well. But if I do get out there, there's something else Chris and I want to do. Some of you on here that have seen our episodes talking to Jay and Todd from Northwood Pie, the indie film set in Northwood Pizza there in Irvine. Chris and Corey got to go down there and eat pizza one day. And I was like, but Chris sent me the box and the menu. So it's like sort of like some memorabilia, like a movie memorabilia type thing. And so that's cool. So I talked to Jay and Todd, and they're both going to be in town and near LA, Irvine area, down in there. So we want to meet them and do a live podcast, all four of us in person. That would be amazing. A lot of stuff that we want to do. But thank you again so much, everybody, for tuning in, for always tuning in. You guys are awesome. We look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow night live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to talk Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, talk about my dad a little bit, celebrate him. And then coming up, nice. Close to the beach. See, that's another thing I want to do is go to the beach. I've been to the ocean before, but never on the West Coast. So I would love to do that. Maybe go down there and spend some time. Do a live podcast from the beach. Like, hey, everybody, we're between a pot and a hard place. We're not even on land. We're in the water here in the ocean. Like, wouldn't that be cool? I'm going to try not to drop my phone, just film it on there. Like, oh, well, underwater adventure time. All right, everybody. Thanks. I'm going to go ahead and go. It's been fun. Again, I'm excited. Like I said, we've got a lot coming up. We covered what tomorrow night's going to be, and then coming up on June 3rd, the Flash showrunner, Eric Wallace. So any fans of the Flash TV series out there, get your questions. Get your questions, because we are going to talk to him finally on, I believe it's Friday, June 3rd. That's coming up, and I'm really, really excited about that. And we have other stuff lined up, hopefully in the works, getting it tuned, getting it tweaked and scheduled and all that fun stuff. So join us for that. It is totally tubular. Good night. Thank you, Corey, for being here. Gideon, #Gideon. Yes, we're going to need to talk about Gideon, and I'm going to get him to tell us. And if he doesn't have any plans to show us Flash creating Gideon, I'm going to make him create Gideon. You know what I mean. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in again. I'm Stephen Colton, and we will see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. And sorry, I'm trying to find my little intro thing. But yeah, have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Be good to one another. Have your pets spay and neutered. Goodbye.